Can you beat the Elite Four in Pokemon FireRed using their own teams against them? In this video, you will see me fighting Lorelei, Bruno, Agatha, Lance, and Blue while doing exactly that. I will be using their Pokemon with the same movesets and no added EV or IVs. This challenge idea is simple enough, but I'm going to make it tougher by adding hardcore nuzlocke rules into the mix. So basically, I'll be playing with set switch-ins and no healing or items in battle at all. However, I will be using the citrus berries the Elite Four keep on their ace Pokemon. If you're hyped for this video, sit back, grab a snack. Oh, and I guess drop a like and subscribe because only about 77% of you who watch these videos are actually subscribed. It's free and it helps the channel out a ton by promoting the video to newer audiences. Plus, I did spend about 30 to 40 hours trying to put this video together, so it would really mean a lot to me. With that out of the way, enjoy today's challenge run. Yo, what's up everyone? Lee here, aka Major League Gaming, guys, bringing you another Pokemon challenge video. So as you heard in the intro, we'll be fighting Lorelei and the rest of the E4 with their own teams. As you can see, I have Lorelei's team here with me. The Pokemon have the same movesets. They're not holding any items aside from Lapras because we will be using the berries. Also, all my Pokemon teams will be shiny because, I mean, why not, dude? Shinies. Anyway, let's go ahead and dive on in. For the battle with Lorelei, I decided to lead out with Jinx in order to get a Lovely Kiss off, which of course I do miss the first one. After landing the second, I go out to Lapras to get some body slam damage off because really there's no good moves to use against a full water ice team in this scenario. Lorelei of course heals, so we have to slowly whittle Dewgong down again by slamming this fat taxi on top of it. Next up is Cloyster, who is full of Protect Cheese, so after landing the Confuse Ray, I decided to swap into my own Cloyster to set up spike damage for the incoming Pokemon. I wasn't really sure if you can set up 3 layers of spikes, but I did it anyway because YOLO. After getting my spikes off, I go into Slowbro, who can handle this fight better than my Cloyster can. However, I actually do end up getting pro played here because Lorelei swaps into her Lapras with Water Absorb. At this point, I go into my own Lapras, who can pretty much handle anything hers dishes out. This fight basically becomes an RNG death pit as we both end up confused and paralyzed over and over again until I finally take it down. Afterwards, Cloyster comes back in and of course continues to stall with Protect, but luckily that doesn't last too long. Slowbro comes in next and tries to raise its special defense for some reason, but I'm going for Body Slam here, bro, like that won't help. It also continues to spam Yawn when I'm already paralyzed, so this must be due to some kind of programming error in the game where after Slowbro uses Amnesia, it goes for Yawn. I'm not really sure, so if you do know, make sure to drop a comment below and let me know. Either way, this Pokemon was stally, but not really too much of a threat. Last up is her Jinx, who honestly I thought would not be a big deal, but it actually happens to be one of the most annoying Pokemon due to it having Attract and Lovely Kiss, which, you know, for some reason I feel like it lands literally 100% of them. This forces me to keep swapping out or to get stalled by either being asleep or immobilized by Love. I decided to go into Dewgong and set up a safeguard after stupidly misclicking Surf and yet again falling asleep. I'm actually raging behind my screen right now, dude, like, you don't even know. After I finally wake up and Jinx misses Lovely Kiss / I break through this stupid Attract Cheese, I go into Slowbro to finish off Jinx, landing me the victory against Lorelei. Up next is Bruno, you know, the guy we all think is a joke. Well, maybe it's because I'm using his own team here, but he was actually kind of a challenge. You know, keyword being kind of. I decided to lead in with Machamp and try to set up with bulk up strats because his Onix literally can't do anything to me, or so I thought, until it used Roar. Yeah, I have the same Pokemon, but I forgot about Roar. Let me hear in the comments, I can't wait to hear how dumb I am. Anyway, it becomes an Onix v Onix battle where I just spam Earthquake until I take it down. Next up is his second Onix who outspeeds mine, knocking it out, but I switch into Hitmonlee who KOs it with 2 Brick Breaks. Hitmonlee is able to outspeed Hitmonchan and get 1 hit off before going down. I then go into the level 51 Onix and honestly did not expect to outspeed Hitmonchan. I guess it's slow? Either way, Onix does take Hitmonchan out, but ultimately goes down to his Hitmonlee. Now for the matchup of the century. Hitmonlee versus Hitmonchan. Who will win? By the way, let me know in the comments, who do you prefer? Hitmonlee, Hitmonchan, or Hitmontop? I do take it out as I'm able to outspeed with a priority Mach Punch after landing the initial Sky Uppercut. Last up for Bruno's team is Machamp, which Hitmonchan does get some initial damage off before going down. I end up going into my own Machamp, who was able to defeat Bruno's with a 2-hit KO, landing me the victory here. Next up on the list is Professor Oak's Professor Oak's buddy, in air quotes, Agatha, who turns out to be one of the tougher fights in this run. I decided to lead out with Arbok against her Gengar in hopes of getting good bite damage off and also lowering the power of its priority Shadow Punch with Intimidate. Bite, however, did not do as much as I'd hoped because, oh yeah, Bite is special in this game for some freaking reason. This is where starts to hit the fan due to Gengar raising its evasiveness and confusing me. For some reason, I can't land any hits at all. I mean, who are we kidding? It's me. Of course I can't land any because I really do have the worst luck when it comes to RNG, man. After Arbok goes down, I swap into Golbat to give Agatha a taste of her own medicine with some confusion cheese. Agatha does end up healing Gengar after I was so close to defeating it, and now Golbat starts missing too? Bro, are you actually kidding me? Luckily, I think Golbat hears the frustration in my voice here and finally takes this stupid trolley Haunter wannabe down. Speaking of, Haunter is Agatha's next Pokemon and lands Hypnosis after being hit with a Confuse Ray. I decide to swap out after being afflicted by the curse and take it out with one Shadow Punch. Golbat is up next, who ends up landing a Confuse Ray on my Gengar, so I swap into Haunter to try and get a Hypnosis and Dream Eater combo off. I do miss the first one, but land the second, taking it down with one hit. Arbok comes in after, and lands a Screech Iron Tail combo after I miss 2 Hypnosis. Let's just say I'm not happy here. My Golbat wakes up turn 1, and I can start confusing it while slowly getting its HP bar down. Or, so I thought, but of course, confusion does not apply to NPCs, so I do go down here. I swap to my Ace Gengar, hoping to get the KO with one Shadow Ball, but I think Arbok literally lived on 1 HP here. I see now that I have no choice but to put it to sleep and do a Nightmare combo. But yeah, that doesn't work either because Arbok wakes up turn 1. I now have 1 Pokemon left, which happens to be the Trolley Gengar, so I set up with Confuse Ray and Double Team. Arbok does continue to land Iron Tail after this, but I'm ultimately able to take it down. Thank God. Now, just one more Pokemon, which is their ace, Gengar. I land a Shadow Punch, which happens to be a 2-hit KO, but it really doesn't matter because Agatha, of course, breaks through RNG here, lands a Shadow Ball, and delivers me my first loss this run. After tearing my way through the Elite Four with Agatha's team, I decide to stop messing around and lead out with my own Trolley Gengar. Hers will take 2 Shadow Punches to KO, but I'm able to break through confusion and easily take it out. I decide to stay in with Gengar against Golbat to hopefully land a Confuse Ray, which I am able to on the second turn. Saving what little HP Gengar has left, I swap into Haunter, who misses Hypnosis and lives on 15 HP. Thank God I land the next one. Golbat is able to survive 1 Dream Eater, and predicting my opponent like the Pokemon genius I am, I decide to click Hypnosis here, anticipating a full restore from Agatha. See, I told you, genius. Anyway, it does take a couple turns for me to land another Hypnosis, but I am eventually able to take her Golbat out, as well as heal myself back to near full HP in the process. Agatha then decides to send in her Haunter, followed by Arbok, but they pose no threat here as I'm able to continue sweeping with Hypnosis and Dream Eater while getting her to use her remaining full restores. When her ace, Gengar, comes out, I of course do not outspeed and go down in 1 hit. However, I clearly have a huge advantage over Agatha at this point, and I'm able to swap into my own ace Gengar, delivering the KO, as well as earning the W after 2 Shadow Balls. Next up is the, quote, Dragon Master, end quote, Lance. I decided to lead with Dragonair in hopes of landing either a T-Wave on Gyarados or whittle down its HP a bit. As you can see, my team was badly injured at this point due to me running out of healing items when fighting Lorelei and the rest of the E4, which honestly was the toughest part of this challenge. Yeah, I'm sure there's a cheat to skip past the other E4 members, but I like doing things the hard way, okay? Anyway, Gyarados does outspeed Dragonair, landing a Hyper Beam and takes it down. I decided to swap into Aerodactyl in hopes of getting off an Ancient Power Boost, which I don't, but I do manage to crit his Aerodactyl here, which is very nice. Dragonair comes in and ends up paralyzing me, great, but it does go down. I also end up leveling up here, which is, yeah, I know, kind of cheating, but what am I supposed to do about it, man? Like, leave me alone. Regardless, I end up making Lance use his 4 restores on Dragonair before being taken down to an Outrage. I decided to swap into my other Dragonair and take it down with a Dragon Rage before being KO'd by his Dragonite, and from here, things are fairly simple. I'm able to use Gyarados to take out its Sitrus Berry, as well as land a crit Hyper Beam to save the day. Last up is the fight with our rival Blue, aka RNG. As you guys know at this point, RNG hates me, so I thought it fitting to name the rival RNG. Plus, this ended up being the toughest fight of the entire run. I lead him with Rhydon against his Pidgeot in hopes of getting some solid damage off with Rock Tomb. Well, that plan went down the drain as he lands a Feather Dance as well as Sand Attack. Great, my attacks aren't doing much, and I have accuracy issues. Here, I swap out into Arcanine and spam Flamethrower until RNG would draw his Bird Jesus into his own Rhydon. I anticipate the EQ here and swap into Pidgeot for the accuracy drop. I then decide to swap into Venusaur and set up Sun, thinking I could get a Solar Beam sweep. Little did I remember, my man lowered my speed, so Rhydon now outspeeds me after landing Scary Face and a Rock Tomb. At this point, I'm slow as hell, so after seeing the rival send out Alakazam, I hightail it out of there and go into Gyarados. My bite doesn't do as much damage as I'd hope, again, and after seeing how much 2 Psychic suits me, I'm a little concerned, but I do manage to knock it out with Thrash. RNG brings Burb Jesus back out, and since I'm almost out of HP, I decide to let him take me out. I go back into Rhydon here, and it's the same story as before, only this time I do manage to land the first Rock Tomb but miss the second. From here, I'm just mad that I keep missing and he's lowering my accuracy, so I swap into Arcanine for the Flamethrower strats. This time, taking down the Pidgeot. Next up is Gyarados, who is a slight problem. I go into Pidgeot and get hit with a Hydro Pump. I take notes from my own rival here and start spamming Sand Attacks in hope of going out to Rhydon safely to land a Rock Tomb. However, this dream is short-lived thanks to RNG managing to break through, well, RNG, and land a Hydro Pump. I go into Venusaur and think Sunny Day is the way to go due to healing with Synthesis and Solar Beam. I do forget, though, that he has Arcanine, and at this point, I realize I messed up. I decide to save Venusaur for some reason, and go into my own Arcanine, realizing too late that this was a bad play. I then swap back out to Venusaur and sack it off. Yeah, everything comes full circle, apparently. My Burb Jesus comes out next, and I manage to land a Feather Dance to lower his E-Speed damage on Alakazam. I then go Future Sight and hope to stall with Recover and Reflect Cheese, but before I can even get a word in, I'm basically KO'd to a crit, and my Future Sight fails. Thanks, RNG. I'm forced to swap into Arcanine here, who goes down with barely a fight, and I've now been delivered my second loss of the run. For the rematch with RNG, I decided to lead him with Arcanine and spam Flamethrower from the get-go since my last strat with Rhydon did not work. Pidgeot goes down a lot easier this time, and next out is Rhydon. I swap into Gyarados this time to land a Stab Hydro Pump and avoid the EQ. So far so good. You know, this is going too well. Alakazam comes in next and sets up Reflect, which is fine because I go for the bite. Psychic is still scaring me, so I swap into Rhydon. I honestly don't know why I did that because I guess I forgot that Rhydon is especially weak. I don't know, man, don't judge. This mistake leads me to sack off Pidgeot, who gets 2-hit KO'd with Psychic. I then swap into Arcanine, landing an E-Speed, and also giving me the kill. From here, Gyarados comes out, so I swap into Venusaur and try the Sunny Day growth setup. After Gyarados is finished thrashing about, I do land a Solar Beam, which actually almost KOs it. RNG heals and I have to set up Sun again due to being stalled. I did not anticipate to swap into Arcanine here, but I learned from my mistakes and let Venusaur go down. However, Rhydon also goes down to a Flamethrower here due to it being overpowered by the sun, so I'm forced to send in the fast and powerful, albeit frail, Alakazam. I decided to try my stall strats, but Arcanine at this point is so OP with the sun and E-Speed that I'm about to throw my controller. I swap into Gyarados now that the sun is down and land a Hydro Pump, KOing his doggo. He then proceeds to send in his own Gyarados, not only lowering my attack, but also healing. This fight is actually making me rage now. All that I have left in my arsenal is Arcanine, who, if you didn't know, is actually weak to Hydro Pump. Luckily, he was locked into Thrash here, so I thought I might be lucky enough to take him out with an E-Speed, but ultimately he heals again, and again, actually, and is able to take me out with Thrash and Hydro Pump. Wow, 2 losses to RNG. Honestly, I don't know why I'm surprised. At this point, I needed a break from the challenge, so I drank some water and had lunch. Remember to hydrate, dudes, it's important. When I returned, I had a different strat in mind and was now prepared for anything this man threw at me. I knew that I had to leave Rhydon and Gyarados for his Arcanine, as well as have either Alakazam or Arcanine alive for when his Venusaur came out. After taking out his Rhydon with Gyarados, I decided to swap into Pidgeot to set up Sand before getting KO'd by a second Psychic. Or not. RNG must have actually felt bad for me here because my man got a low roll and decided to go for Future Sight multiple times. This allowed me to finish off his Alakazam with my Pidgeot. I decided to stay in and let Pidgeot go down after landing 2 Sand attacks against Gyarados. From here, I have a clear advantage, so I go into my own Alakazam, use Psychic, and spam Reflect/Recover due to my rival deciding to spam full restores. After what felt like a century, I finally take it down. Next up is Arcanine, who does land an E-Speed, but I decide to stay in so I can get a Psychic off before getting KO'd. I go into Rhydon here, who I know can handle a Flamethrower, just don't burn me. Good, Arcanine goes down. Last up is Venusaur, who goes for Solar Beam, letting me land an EQ and pop its berry before getting KO'd. From here, Venusaur does go down to 1 Flamethrower, and I'm officially the champion. We did it, dudes! We beat the entire Elite Four and the champion with their own teams and no items in battle. We are the champion by Queen. No, JK, don't do that. I don't want to get copyright claimed. This was a fun challenge to make, and I definitely plan to do similar ones in the future. If you guys have made it this far into the video, first, I'd like to say thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoyed it. Second, comment down below puppy in all caps so I can see who actually watched this far in. Also, if you guys haven't already, make sure you do drop a like and subscribe if you're new. It's free, and it helps the video get promoted to newer audiences. If you have any feedback, positive or negative, don't hesitate to let me know in the comments as well. Again, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Until then, peace.